Thanks, Kai. Hi, Mason.
Hi.
No Dallas today?
No.
You want to hear me read?
Yeah.
Has anybody ever read this book before?
No.
Yes? Somebody said yes? Yeah? Did you like it? Okay, good. All right. It's called Astro Girl. All right. Astrid had loved the stars and space ever since she could remember. I want to be an astronaut, Astrid told her best friend Jake as they gazed up at the stars. Will you bring me an asteroid when you come back from space? Asked Jake. Of course I will, Jakey. Everybody see? You see it? I want to be an astronaut, Astrid said at breakfast. Are you sure, Papa asked. You have to go round and round the Earth in your spaceship. He swung her around. I can do that, Astrid said, giggling. What about eating food out of a tube or a package every day? I can do that, said Astrid as she munched a cereal bar. Okay, Astro Girl, you'll also have to get used to zero gravity. Papa threw her up in the air. I can do that all day long, Astrid laughed. What about all the science experiments? Asked Papa. Could you do those, my brave explorer? No problem, said Astrid as they made rocket ship cookies. Oh, those things.
They look delicious.
Hey, like, think they're chocolate chip?
Yeah.
Those are chocolate chips. Right? Will a space cadet like you be able to sleep on your own among the stars? Papa asked. I think that would be very hard, but I'll do it, Astrid whispered. At last, it was time to go get Mama. Astrid wore her favorite space t-shirt.
It's a chocolate chip.
At the Space Center, Astrid and her papa moved to the front of the crowd just as the doors opened. Mama, Astrid gave her mama a big kiss. I missed you, said Astrid.
Oh, is she an astronaut?
Looks like it. I want to be an astronaut just like you, said Astrid. You're my hero. Astrid has learned a lot about being an astronaut. The word astronaut comes from two Greek words, astron, meaning star, and nautis, meaning sailor. American astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were the first to land on the moon in the lunar module Eagle on July 20th, 1969. Their first animal to go into orbit was a dog named Laika on the Russian Sputnik 2 spacecraft on November 3rd, 1957.
Did they survive?
I'm not sure. We're going to have to look it up. I'm sure.
Well, he would need a space helmet. He would need
The dog needs a helmet?
a whole different suit.
Maybe. All right. Valentina Tereshkova from Russia was the first woman in space in 1963. Shannon Lucid from the United States set an early record for the longest time spent in space by a woman, 188 days in 1966. It's a long time to be in space, right? Yeah. May Carroll Jepsen was the first African-American woman in space in 1992. Helen Sharman was the first British astronaut and the first woman to visit the Mir Space Station in 1991. Kalpana Chawla was the first woman born in India to go to space in 1997. Space food is freeze-dried so that it won't spill and cause any damage to machines. Fruit, bread, and nuts are okay as they are. Astronauts train underwater to create the feeling of floating in space.
And that's her favorite book.
And this is her favorite book? Okay, well, this is Olivia. She is good at a lot of things. That's what Olivia looks like. What's that? Why is it? Where's her clothes? Have you ever seen a pig wearing clothes?
Yeah.
She is very good at wearing people out. She even wears herself out. You guys see it? She's wearing herself out. She's got a lot of energy, right?
She's working out.
Olivia has a little brother named Ian. He's always copying. Sometimes Ian just won't leave her alone, so Olivia has to be firm. Olivia lives with her mother, her father, her brother, and her dog, Perry.
But it's Perry.
I'm going to show you in a second. And Edwin, the cat. In the morning after she gets up and moves the cat and brushes her teeth and combs her ears. You guys ever comb your ears?
No.
right? And moves the cat. You guys see it? You want, come on, slide on over. You guys come over a little
Why is
later.
she naked again?
Why is she naked? Yeah, have you ever seen a pig wear clothes?
Yes, there's a pig wearing clothes.
Well, she just got up. Olivia gets dressed. See, this is your part where she gets dressed. She has to try on everything that she owns. And it turns out that everything that she owns is what color?
Red. My favorite color.
Red's your favorite color?
Too.
Yeah. On sunny days, Olivia likes to go to the beach. She feels it's important to come prepared. Last summer, when Olivia was little, her mother showed her how to make sandcastles. Have you guys ever made sandcastles?
Yeah.
No.
Because I never went.
Oh no. You can make it in the snow.
I mean.
What do you think of that?
I
You ever
mean.
make a snowman?
I did.
No?
I did.
You did? She got pretty good at making the sandcastles. Wait till you see this one. That's pretty good, right?
Whoa, whoa. I would never make that. How did they make that?
I'll tell you what, I couldn't do that. Sometimes Olivia likes to bask in the sun. When her mother sees that she's had enough, they go home. Every day, Olivia is supposed to take a nap. You guys ever take naps?
Yeah.
I love a good nap.
I can't because I have nightmares.
No? All right. It's time for you to know what her mother says.
Well, she's really deep. What was he doing?
Oh, can't see it?
Look how tan she is. I can't. I want to. OMG, she is so tan.
She got tan from being out in the sun, right?
I'm skinny.
Of course, Olivia's not all that sleepy. Why? We already talked about she has all that energy, right? When you're supposed to take a nap, do you go right to sleep or do you
Dance.
you dance?
I dance around. I stay up in the night.
On
What?
rainy days, Olivia likes to go to the museum. You guys ever been to a museum?
No.
She heads straight to her favorite picture. Olivia looks at it for a long time. What could she be thinking?
To dance.
Is it like a ballerina?
Yeah. What? How did you get that picture? No.
She's at the museum. It's got a picture of the ballerinas at the museum. It's supposed to be what? Oh, it's supposed to be an animal? No.
Animal pigs.
But there is one painting Olivia just doesn't get. She doesn't understand it. I could do that in about 5 minutes, she says to her mother. Could you guys make a picture like that?
No. That looks like
Right here.
a creepy
No.
spider.
What's that? Looks like a spider?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
It looks like a lot of spiders.
As soon as she gets home, she gives it a try.
What's that? What? She?
She painted on the wall.
Her mother is mad. Her mother is
Can we do that?
No.
No.
Sometimes I do it. Real nasty.
Yeah. Time out. After a nice bath and a nice dinner, it's time for bed.
Look what she made.
She's got all paint all over her.
Yeah, because she made
Can you see it, buddy?
mess. And now she got paint on her food. Now she got paint on.
But of course, Olivia's not at all sleepy. Only 5 books tonight, Mom says. No, Olivia, just 1. How about 4, 2, 3? Oh, all right, 3. But that's it. You guys read it all when you go home?
No.
When you go to sleep?
What?
You don't read? You look at the pictures?
No. Yeah. I watch videos.
When they're finished reading, Olivia's mother gives her a kiss and says, "You know, you really wear me out. But I love you anyway." And Olivia gives her a kiss back and says, "I love you anyway too." That's the end.
Yeah. Okay, so does anybody know what a hermit crab is?
Yeah. I have.
Okay.
I
You have one?
I have 2 in my house.
You do? Do you have names for them?
Yes.
And they are?
Spider-Man and
Spider-Man and Superman. Sounds like a battle. All right. Well, this is a story about a hermit crab. All right. Can y'all see that? Yeah? Sort of?
I can.
You can see it? Okay. "Time to move," said the hermit crab one day in January. "I've grown too big for this little shell." He had felt safe and snug in his shell, but now it was too snug. Hermit crab stepped out of his shell and onto the floor of the ocean. But it was frightening out in the open sea without a shell to hide in. "What if a big fish comes along and attacks me?" he thought. "Well, I must find a house soon." See, here he is, right? And there's these fish, and maybe they might attack him. He doesn't know, because he's always lived in his little house. Okay. Early in February, Hermit Crab found just the house he was looking for. It was a big shell and strong, and he moved right in, wiggling and waggling about until he felt comfortable inside, and it felt just right. "But it looks so, it looks so plain," said the hermit crab. "See, there's nothing on the shell, right? It's just a plain shell." Let's see what we got here. In March, Hermit Crab met some sea anemones. They swayed gently back and forth in the seawater. "How beautiful you are," said the Hermit Crab. "Would one of you be willing to come and live on my house? It's so plain, it needs you." "I'll come," whispered the small sea anemone. Gently, Hermit Crab picked up the sea anemone with his claw and put it on his shell. It makes it look much prettier, doesn't it? Okay, so there's the hermit crab, and there's his sea anemone. In April, the hermit crab passed a flock of starfish moving slowly along the seafloor. "How handsome you are," said Hermit Crab. "Would one of you be willing to decorate my house?" "I would," signaled a little sea star. Carefully, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and put it on his house. See, now he has this one, sea anemone. He's got 2. In May, Hermit Crab discovered some coral. They were hard, and they didn't move. "How pretty you are," said Hermit Crab. "Would one of you be willing to help make my house more beautiful?" "I would," creaked a crusty coral. Gingerly, the hermit crab picked it up with his claw and placed it on his shell. In June, hermit crab came along with a group of snails crawling over a rock on the ocean floor. They gazed as they went, picking up algae and bits of debris and leaving a neat path behind them. "How tidy and hard-working you are," said Hermit Crab. "Would one of you be willing to come and help clean my house?" "I would," offered one of the snails. Happily, Hermit Crab picked him up with his claw and placed him on his shell. getting a lot of stuff on his shell, isn't he? Wow. In July, hermit crab came upon several sea urchins. They had sharp, prickly needles. "How fierce you look," said hermit crab. "Would one of you be willing to protect my house?" "I would," said a spiky sea urchin. Gratefully, hermit crab picked it up with his claw and placed it next to his shell. See, now he's got that protecting him right here. In August, hermit crab and his friends wandered into the forest of seaweed. "It's so dark here," thought the hermit crab. "How gloomy it is," whispered the starfish. "How murky it is," complained the coral. "I can't see," said the snail. "It's like nighttime," cried the sea urchin. In September, the hermit crab spotted a school of lanternfish. They were darting back and forth through the dark water. "How bright you are," said the hermit crab. "Would one of you be willing to light up the house?" "I would," replied one lanternfish, and it swam over near the shell. See, it's nice and light there now. In October, hermit crab approached a pile of smooth pebbles. "How sturdy you are," said hermit crab. "Would you mind if I rearranged you?" "Not at all," answered the pebbles. Hermit crab picked them up one by one with his claw and built a wall around his shell. "Now my house is perfect," said the hermit crab. But in November, hermit crab felt that his shell seemed a bit too small. Little by little, over the years, he had gotten bigger and bigger. Soon he'd have to find a bigger home. He had come to love his friends, the sea anemone, the starfish, the coral, the sea urchin, the snail, the lanternfish, and even the smooth pebbles. "They have been so good to me," thought the hermit crab, "and they are like family. How could I leave them?" In December, a smaller hermit crab passed by. "I have outgrown my shell," she said. "Would you know of a place for me?" "I have outgrown my shell too," answered the hermit crab. "I must move on. You are welcome to live here, but you must promise to be good for my friends. Good to my friends." "I promise," said the little crab. The following January, hermit crab stepped out of the little crab moved in. "Couldn't stay in that little shell forever," hermit crab said as he waved goodbye. The ocean floor looked wider than he had remembered, but hermit crab wasn't afraid. Soon he spied the perfect house, a big empty shell. It looked, well, a little plain, but sponges, he thought, barnacles, clownfish, sand dollars, electric eels. Oh, there are so many good possibilities. I can't wait to get started. So what do you think? Think you found a good home? A new home? Yeah, what did he do with his other home? Somebody who needed it, right? And he found a bigger one, and then he made it nice for him, right? Pretty good.
Okay, so I am going to read a book called The Principal from the Black Lagoon by Mike Thaler and pictures by
I've read
Jared
that
Lee.
book.
All right, well, I'm going to read it again to you. You can ask questions after, okay? It's the third day of school. I've been sent to the principal's office. What a bummer. Oh no, that's right. I hear the principal, Mrs. Green, is a real monster. Kids go to her office and never come back. The waiting room is supposed to be filled with bones and skeletons. Doris Foodle was sent there for chewing gum. They say her skeleton still has bubble gum in its mouth.
No, they died because they had no food.
The short kids she feeds to her pet alligators. And the fat ones she uses as paperweights. The thin ones she uses as bookmarks. I'm too young to be a bookmark.
What about the fat
Then there's her 12-foot paddle. It's supposed to have poison spikes on it. What is she? Is she even a real person? No.
An alligator.
If you're lucky, you get put in the cages. She has them under her desk.
Not fair.
Because can you put animals in cages?
Yeah.
Yes.
But not kids.
No, of course not kids.
That's kids.
If you're really lucky, you get sent home in chains. But most kids she keeps with her experiments. Derek Bloom was sent here yesterday. They say he would wind up with the head of a dog.
What? No.
Could this really happen?
No. I don't like the story already. Do you think
They say Freddie Jones has the feet of a chicken
that's fake?
and Eric Porter the hands of a hamster.
That's fake. If that was I would get out of my town.
I'm too good looking to have ears of a rabbit, and all I did was snatch Mrs. Jones's wig. It's very quiet today. Usually they say there's a lot of screaming, but maybe she's in a good mood. Even if I survive, will this affect my whole life?
Oh gosh. I'm scared. It's a horror.
In the future, I'll be running for president. I'll be ahead in the polls. And then it will come true. I can see the headlines. Presidential candidate sent to the principal's office.
No.
Oh no, there's a shadow at the glass. Now I'm in the jaws of fate. The door slowly opens. I look around. There's only a coat rack. It doesn't look like anyone I know. I look around for the alligator. There's only a turtle. It looks like Randy Potts. Now, says Mrs. Green, are we having a little trouble in class? Well, says I was sweeping up the room, and by accident, Mrs. Jones's wig got caught on the broom handle. Well, have to apologize, won't we? Yes, we will. And then next time, we'll have to be more careful. Yes, we will. Yes, we will, he says. Now run along. Is that all? Close the door behind you. Boy, I was lucky. Those flowers on her desk were probably poisonous. Just one whiff and you would turn purple and die. Unfortunately, I held my breath. Was she mean? No.
But how was that?
I went into her cave and I returned without the ears of a rabbit. I'll have to sweep her office sometime and see if she wears a wig. Was she mean?
No.
Was she an alligator? No. So what do you think happened? What do you think he was scared of? Why do you think he was scared to go there? Go ahead, say it. Rumors. Were the rumors true? No. What did she say he had to do? Does anyone remember what he said she had to do? Go ahead. Go ahead. What? Apologize. Yeah. So she wasn't really mean, right?
This is the grumpy monkey.
Grumpy.
Grumpy monkey.
Grumpy the monkey. He's scared.
Check out the pictures as we go. One wonderful day, Chimpanzee woke to discover that nothing was right. The sun was too bright, the sky was too blue, and the bananas were too sweet. Too yellow? Jim was confused. What's going on? Said Jim. Maybe you're grumpy, Norman from next door said. I'm not grumpy, Jim insisted. He's not grumpy.
Mr. Nepali.
Wait, save your question.
On his walk, he met Marabou. Jim's grumpy, Norman told Marabou. Why are you grumpy, Jim? Asked Marabou. It's such a wonderful day. Grumpy me? I'm not grumpy, said Jim. But look how you're standing, Marabou said. It's true, Norman said. You're all hunched over. So Jim, he loosened up. Can everybody get loose? Just loosen up. Have a good day. Yeah. Then he ran into Lemur. Jim's grumpy, Norman told Lemur. Why are you so grumpy, Jim? Asked Lemur. It's such a wonderful day. Grumpy me? I'm not grumpy, said Jim. Your eyebrows look grumpy, said Lemur. It's true, said Norman. They're all bunched up. Where are your eyebrows? Right here, grumpy. So Jim raised his brows. Then he tripped over Snake. Oh no, said Norman. That's the last thing you need when you're feeling so grumpy. Grumpy me? I'm not grumpy, said Jim. Then why that frown? Said Snake. I think it's because he tripped over you, Norman whispered to Snake.
He actually looks kind of happy now.
Right. So Jim put on a smile. Finally, Jim looked happy. But he didn't feel happy inside. Are you paying attention to my book? Or are you going to untie my shoes so I trip over Snake?
Bauer, back.
Everybody wanted Jim to enjoy this wonderful day. You should sing with us,
Hold on, Marcel, wait.
said the
We'll
birds.
untie it, and then you sit down.
Jim didn't feel like singing. Double. You should swing with us, said monkeys. Jim didn't feel like swinging. Do you guys swing on the swing set? Me too.
No, but Mr. Nepali, Mr. Nepali, I have a like blue home looks like this.
Okay.
And I
Well, let's find out if Jim says anything about that. You should roll with us, said the zebras. Jim didn't feel like rolling. You should stroll with us, said the peacocks. Jim didn't feel like strolling. Thank you. You should just lie in the grass. You should just stomp your feet. You should just take a bath. Take a bath? And make a splash. You should hug someone. You should laugh. You should take a nap. You should eat old meat. Ew. Or some honey. You should jump up and down. You should sit in the sun. The porcupine says you should dance.
That's where we sing.
But Jim didn't feel like doing any of that. Why are you so grumpy, Jim? Asked all the others. It's such a wonderful day. I'm not grumpy. Look, he's shouting, I'm not grumpy.
No.
And then he pounded his chest. I'm not grumpy. And he stormed off. Look at him, he's running away, he's storming off. But Jim felt sorry. A little sorry for shouting at everyone, but mostly sorry for himself. You do? I guess I am angry, Jim sighed. And just as he was starting to feel really sad, he came upon Norman. Norman's the big gorilla. Norman slumped. His eyebrows were bunched up. What's the matter? Are you grumpy? Jim asked. No, I danced with Porcupine, said Norman. He danced with Porcupine. He's got porcupine needles in his back. Are you okay? Asked Jim. It hurts, but I'll probably feel better soon enough.
You just have to take it out. That's how you feel.
Right, said Norman. Are you still grumpy? Yes, said Jim. But I'll probably feel better soon enough too. For now, I need to be grumpy. It's a wonderful day to be grumpy, said Norman. Jim agreed. Right, he took the porcupine needles out of his back.
That hurt.
And he already felt a little better.
Mr.
The
Nepali.
end. Isn't that a wonderful book?
I chose this book called Hair Love. And the reason why is because it reminded me of my daughter and my husband, right? And so I have hair like this. So the name of the book is Hair Love. And the author is Matthew A. Cherry. And it's illustrated by Vashti Harrison. Does anybody know what illustration means? Like, go ahead.
It means with someone who draws the picture.
Right, and what's the author? Go ahead.
The author is someone who writes the story.
Yes, all right. And so as we read, you're going to be thinking of what's the main idea of the story, right? Okay, so Hair Love. All right. So she's looking in the mirror, and it says, "My name is Zuri, and I have hair that has a mind of its own. It kinks, coils, and curls every which way." Do we have hair that sometimes has a mind of its own? Yeah. And bedhead, right. And she's sleeping, right, with her cat. "Daddy tells me it's beautiful. That makes me proud. I love that my hair lets me be me. And everyone should love their hair because it's who you are," right? "In funky braids with beads, I am a princess." That's what she feels like, right? "And when my hair is in two puffs, I am above the clouds like a superhero." It's like pigtails, right? "My hair even does magic tricks. One day, Rocky and I were playing outside when along came the rain. From large to small it went, presto, just like that. There is nothing my hair can't do. Today I woke up extra early all by myself. I was too excited to sleep. It's a big day. I wonder what the day is. Let's see." She's really excited. "Daddy was still sleeping. Shh, I said to Rocky as we tiptoed past him. Lately, Daddy has been worn out." Maybe he's worn out from working, right? "He makes me breakfast, takes me to school, goes to work, picks me up, and yesterday we went for a bike ride around the park." Does anybody know how to ride a bike here? Ooh, with the training wheels or without?
Without.
Wow, I gotta get better. My kids gotta get better. They gotta get brave here. Really? Wow, that's impressive. Okay. I think he needs a break. So Daddy needs a break because he's tired. He does a lot, right? "Because today is special. I want a perfect hairstyle. This calls for a professional's touch." So now she's trying to see what she's going to do with her hair. "Pause off, Rocky." Daddy heard the crash. "Zuri, what on earth?" he asked. Her tablet, it looks like, cracked. It went dropping to the floor. That happens sometimes, right? "I was only trying to help," I said. Daddy smiled. "Can I help too? It'll be a piece of cake, Zuzu." That's his nickname for his daughter, Zuzu. Does anybody have a nickname at home? Okay. "The first style was a big no way." Oh, she didn't like this one. She's like, "I'm not going to school like that." Yeah. One on top. You did that before? Your mom, and you were like, "Oh my gosh," right? Screaming, I know. What about you? I like yours. I do that to my daughter's hair sometimes. One half up, half down? Yeah. Okay. All right. And for my boys, you guys get haircuts, right? Yeah. Okay. "The second was no better." "No, Daddy." She wasn't happy with the second hairstyle either. "Then Daddy tried slicking my hair back into two puffs." "Ouch," Daddy yelled. Oh, he's getting hurt here. It's a lot of work. "Wait a minute," Daddy said as he reached into the drawer and pulled out a pick. "Ta-da!" "Daddy, really?" I said. "I'll be right back," he promised. Oh, she's not happy. And this is her special day, going to school. She didn't want to look like that. Now, how's that? He asked, pulling a hat down over my eyes. Uh-oh. Daddy, come on. We can do better than that. She's starting to like cry a little bit because she's not happy. I really need my hair to be special. Don't worry, he said. We'll figure this out. Then I had a great idea. Let's see what her idea is. What do you think it's going to be? Yeah? Make a new style, right? Okay, let's see what happens. Hopefully he doesn't try to cut it, right? Okay, let's see. Daddy gathered all the tools, gel, yeah, we needed, and we were set. Uh-oh. So he knows what to do. Daddy to the rescue. Let's see. Watching carefully, Daddy combed, parted, oiled, and twisted. He nailed it. Oh, he's doing a great job now. Look at that. It's starting to look a lot better, right? Funky. It looks like nails, right? But those are called bobby pins. Yeah, they kind of like hold the hair in place.
It feels weird though.
It feels weird. Sometimes it can hurt because it's digging in your scalp, right? So I'm not sure if anybody had bobby pins, but it can hold your hair back out of your face sometimes. Okay? So that's what he was trying to do. Funky puff buns. Pretty, pretty, and so much fun. Rocky approved too, so even the cat liked the hairstyle. I put on my superhero cape as the final touch to a perfect look. Almost there. Let's see. Where's my Zuzu? Mommy called from the door. She could not get in the house fast enough. Mommy! You've got to be the prettiest Supergirl I have ever seen, she said. So Mommy's coming home from somewhere. Let's see. And your hair is beautiful, Zuri. Who did it? I looked at Daddy, and he beamed. Anybody have an idea what that word means? Beamed? Go ahead. What do you think that means?
I do.
Oh, okay. Anybody have an idea? Yeah. What about you?
Smiled.
Smiled, like he was just like, smiling. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
think I know why she has my hair.
From a long trip.
Because it said welcome home.
Welcome home, Mom, right? Yeah, Mom is coming back home from something. Let's see. Okay. Mommy smiled. Very nice. Thank you. We learned from the best, Daddy said as he gave her a big hug. Oh, so Daddy's saying, I learned from Mommy. I learned from you on how to do her hair. My hair is Mommy, Daddy, and me. It's hair love. The end. Hope you enjoyed the